Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Deborah, and today I'm doing a little journal, and this is actually a mass make. So I have 8 of these all folded and ready to put in the journal, and I have made the journal covers with an old file folder, and so it's not really a mess because I'm only making 8 of them, so it's sort of like my attempt at a mass make. I don't know that I tend to make single journals rather than everything at once, but I thought I would give this a go just for fun. Plus, I am moving up towards 1,700 subscribers, so thank you very much everyone. And I didn't do a giveaway at 1,600 because I just whooshed past that, so I thought I would do a giveaway. And what I'm giving away is one of these journals when it's finished, obviously. Now, that is available for everyone watching in Australia. Unfortunately, if you're watching outside of Australia, I can't post overseas at the moment. I have tried that recently and the item is still not there, so it's taking forever. So I'm not going to post overseas anymore at the moment anyway, and I will give you instead a voucher for my Etsy store so that you can go and buy some of my digitals. So I hope that's okay with everyone. It's just a logistics nightmare trying to get things posted to the US or the UK or wherever it is that you're watching from. I put out a whole heap of my stuff, and most of this is vintage. So I'm starting with a vintage lotto or housey card. So that will be in the pocket here. And then I'm going to go through. Now I've got some tea-dyed paper that I've pulled out. Lovely grungy tea-dyed paper, and as I said, most of this will be vintage, so I might start from the back. I have got this here, which is obviously not vintage, it's just a piece of cut down ledger paper. And then this one here is vintage. This is from the French cash book that I picked up in Europe last year. It's just lovely, look at that. Beautiful. So yes, I am folding them, and yes, I did cut them down because they won't fit if I don't do that. So that's going to be the next one, and then I might put a piece of the tea-dyed paper in, and then I have a time card. So this is one of the Bundy clock cards. So I have put a couple of non-vintage things in here, but you know, most of it is vintage, and you'll see that as we go through. I also have a piece from a Reader's Digest, obviously not vintage. And then this is a shipping form, and you actually get 3 pieces this is in. So you've got the number on that piece, you've got the yellow copy and the pink copy. So that's how things used to be done, and you'd have your carbon paper in between each layer, so the white copy would stay in the book. The yellow copy would be for elsewhere in the company, and the pink copy would go to the customer. So again, I'm going to have to fold this in half as well. And I was hoping that I could sort of work out where I can fold it. Probably try and do it further on the end if I can. Let's see, maybe down here. Then I have a piece of paper from the typewriting textbook, just a plain piece from an old writing book, account book. And then this piece here is from an old book I have, which is a magazine, a weekly magazine, a hobby magazine. I think that's going to fit in there. Yeah, it just fits in there. And then another piece from an old diary, and then I'll put in a piece of this paper here, I think. And then I've got this one here, which is actually a tiny little book of exercise and things like that. So it's all about, got relay race information and things like that in it. And I think that's going to fit. I'll just have to fold this up now to see if everything is going to tuck in. It should be okay. Might poke out a little bit, but we'll keep going and see how we go. I can always fold some edges in and make some pockets if it doesn't work. Now I can't get that open again. Ah, there you go. And then I have a sheet from a bridge scorecard. I really like these because I think you get really good things on them. Now with this one here, nice diagrams and things, I'm going to fold it there, and then I want to fold it back to create a little pocket. Yes, check. Now before I put this in, I will grab my ink and I will just range it up a bit. I'll just take the whiteness off this really. These are really good because they're a very thick paper. They're not a card, they're a paper, but they actually are really thick, and they've got nice lines on the back for journaling on as well as the front. That's why I like this. This is a piece from the Home Journal magazine. It's got nice ads on it. So again, they're from 1947, I think this one is from. So quite old, getting up there now. And then I've got a piece from an old algebra and geometry textbook. Not sure how old this one is, but it's quite a few years old. And then I have a receipt, another receipt, which is actually two pieces from the butchery in Griffith in New South Wales, and this is from the 30s because you can see it's got 193, so you could add the date in. And I'm just looking at where I'm going to fold this one. No, I just fold it sort of, I think about here, just randomly fold it somewhere so it's a bit off center. And then a piece from my chemist journals. I think these are the 1928-29 journals. Doesn't have some dates. It might have some dates on it somewhere. Not sure. Anyway, that's from that. And then I'm also putting in this lovely piece of botanical. So this is just from one of the wildflower books I've got. I might add another piece of this paper in, which is my tea-dyed paper. And this one here is a piece from a grade 8 notebook. So it's just got sentences and things like that. It's a textbook, a kid's textbook, which again is quite old. And then I have a piece from somebody's autograph book, and I have not read all of the sayings, so if you think you might be offended, because back then people put things down, these are from the 30s and 40s, and they wrote things that perhaps aren't appropriate today, but that's the way it was. So if you think you might be offended by any of that, please let me know if you're going to buy one, and I will just tear it out for you, take it out of the book totally. And then I have another piece of the tea-dyed paper. This one's really old, and I like the way that the edge is done on this one. And I have a card which is, picked this up in the UK, and this is Kings and Queens of England. So it's got photos on the back and the front, and I didn't want to take them off because they're lovely. So instead I'm going to put the whole thing into the book. So first of all, I just need to score down the edge of one of the pictures, and this has got writing right to there, so I'm really going to have to go on this edge here, and hopefully that's picking it up on the other side. Oh, I shouldn't have done that on top of there. Oops. Yep. Okay, so I've managed to get it so that all of the information here is still intact when it gets sewn into the book. Now, each one of those would obviously be different, as are the other things. I'm just telling you where they came from, but you would receive a different page unless you got this actual book. And then I have another piece from a bridge scorecard. Really like these bridge scorecards because you get something really different. Plenty of journaling space on there. And then I've got this, which is another kids, it's actually a spelling book, this one, kids textbook, and this is a first term. See, 31 words, so it's really aged. I don't know how old that one is either, but it's quite old as well. So you would get a piece from that as well. And then with this is a little piece from an old bingo card, and I think that I'll go back to where I made that pocket in one of those bridge cards. Maybe I can pop it into there, although it'll be a bit big. Oh, I'll probably fold it because you could still cut the numbers out and use it if you wanted to. I guess that's maybe what I would do, but I'll pop that in there so you've got a little bridge card in there. And now I just want to see how big I have made that in terms of volume. I think that's quite good. You're getting a lot of vintage stuff in there. And again, if you didn't want to have that in this book, you can take the binding off and use these pages in other books. So you could put them in other journals. So you could use it as a source of vintage yumminess instead if you wanted to. Now I need to bind it. So I've got some binding thread, I've got my needle, and I also have my pokey tool. So when I bind it, I just have to make sure that I pick up anything that's on the edges. So I think I'll be right if I bind it sort of in the center here, and then I'll cover the outside, of course. Now I haven't got my needle ready, so I have to poke that in so I don't lose that while I get a bit of thread. This is just wax thread and it's in a black. Now I am putting some washi tape down just on that inside spine there because this paper is quite fragile and I should have maybe put a thicker paper at this front piece, but it's too late now. I didn't do it, so we just need to move on. And I just have to pull this through so that it's nice and firm, and then pop this back on the other side so that I tie up that center string. That's the way I like to do it. So I'll just pop that back so I tie up the center string. And then we'll see where we're up to. So I've got all of this in now, and I'll just check. I think that's going to be okay. I have done a little bit of a spine here. A couple of these papers, like this one, is a little bit too long. I might have to take them off. I don't really want to, but I might have to take them off. Let's just see. This one here is definitely too long. So what I'm going to do is, because I do have this 1-inch piece where my thing's going through, that shouldn't be too long, should it? No, that one's fine. I don't know what's causing it not to want to shut then. Let's see. This one's definitely too long. It'll have to be torn back. And I'll just rip it gently. Okay. And we'll see how many more we get that need to be taken back. That one's fine. No, the kings and queens. No, that's good. I can get that in. So it really should just be this one here. And I might just fold this over actually. I don't want to take it back any further, so I'll just put a little, yeah, it's only just in, and I'll put a little fold on the end of it, and then the new owner can decide what they want to do with that rather than taking it off. I think that, yeah, that's fine now. So it was just that one thing which was causing to have a problem with it. And now I've got all that in there. I actually am going to do something with the cover. Now I don't want this to fall out, so this is just being held in by that boot button. Maybe I have to tie it off here so that it doesn't go slipping through the other side without me wanting it to. Let's see. I think I can still get it shut then. Yep, that's fine, and then it won't slip back through, because that'd be not good if that slipped back through. I've got some paper from the Reader's Digest, one of the Reader's Digest books I've got, and I've also got some music paper for this one. So the covers on each one will obviously be different, but I'll try and use a similar sort of theme with them. Just trying to see what I want here. I quite like this this picture here. Okay, I'm going to tear these edges so we get a nice raggedy edge. I'll use some of this music paper as well. Oh. Actually, I might leave that one on there. I like the number at the top. So I'll leave this one on here. Yep, I will. Put this one down. And I like these words. Get some of these words happening. As I said, I'm not sure if I'll cover everything. I do want to leave some, you know, some showing of the green, so that you can recognise it as one of those old hanging files, which is what it is. And then I do want to open it up and then just go around some of it with the sponge to grunge it up a bit. Some ink on the edges of this one as well. Okay, so there you go. I've got one done, and I think that that looks really cute. So I'm going to go and do the others now. As I said, I'm not too worried about this, but if you're the one who gets this, then, you know, feel free to go in and stick everything down perfectly, and, you know, can do a layer of clear gesso or something over the top to hold everything down. I like that sort of look, that it looks like it's coming apart and that's been handled a lot. Okay, so this is going out to one of my subscribers here in Australia, and I will send it regardless, so I'll make sure that I draw a winner. In fact, what I'll do to make it fair to everyone is I'm going to draw a winner for this, and this will be for the person who lives in Australia, and then I will keep going, and or you know, whatever, I'll get a winner who doesn't live in Australia. So I'm not sure who lives in Australia and who doesn't. I don't know all my subbies, but I do know some of them. So I'll do a draw, and if you live in Australia, then you'll get this, and if you live outside of Australia, I'll give you a voucher to buy some digis from my Etsy shop, just to make it fair rather than just drawing one prize. There will be two prizes, one for in Australia and one for out of Australia. And the rest of them I will keep making. I probably won't get to that today, but I will put the rest of them up in my Etsy shop, and once I finish them all, I will show you. And I think that that would be the fairest way for everybody. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you like my little journal, particularly if you're the one who wins it. And look, if you live in Australia and you say, I don't want this, I prefer a voucher for the shop, that's okay too. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'll just put this one in the shop as well. Hopefully that somebody who is drawn likes it. Now, in terms of timing, it is now the 7th of August. Yes, yesterday was my husband's birthday, so today is the 7th of August, and I will put this up, and the drawer, going in the drawer, will be open until, let's say, we'll give it 2 weeks, so the 21st of August, and then I will obviously wait for the US people to catch up because they're the last in the chain of time zones, and then I will do the draw probably on the, depends, the Saturday or the Sunday, depends when I get round to it. So how do you enter? Well, you need to leave me a comment because I use the YouTube comment picker to pick the winner, or winners in this case. So leave me a comment, and what I would like you to tell me is, give me an idea for a video. There you go, nice and easy. What do you want to see me make? So you need to leave a comment, and it needs to give me an idea for a video. It doesn't matter if it's the idea that another person has. You might word it differently. It doesn't really matter, but that's what I'd like. And if you do that, then you'll be in the draw either to win this or to win a voucher for my Etsy shop so you can download some digitals. All right, this is Deborah, and thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your entry, and I will be back very soon. Cheers.